The story kicks off with Kyle Miller, a diamond dealer who's cruising down a scenic country road in his flashy Porsche. This guy is all about sealing deals, and you can tell he's living the good life. Or so it seems. He rolls up to his massive, gated mansion by the water, grabs a fancy gold Zippo lighter by the pool, and heads to the kitchen. That's where the family drama begins. His wife, Sarah, and their teenage daughter, Avery, are in the middle of a heated debate about some party. Spoiler alert, Avery's not going. Parental veto for the win. Kyle, being the businessman he is, snags an envelope from the wall safe because he's meeting a buyer later. Meanwhile, Sarah's trying to salvage what's left of her hopes for a cozy family dinner. She even brings a tray of food upstairs for Avery. But let's be real, family bonding isn't in the cards tonight. Avery, being the rebellious teen she is, sneaks out, hops over the estate fence like it's the Olympics, and catches a ride with her friend. Back inside, Kyle shows Sarah the lighter, and she's thinking it's time for a little romance. But Kyle? Nope, he's got work to do. Cue the doorbell. They check the security cam and see what looks like a cop badge. Apparently, police are investigating burglaries in the neighborhood. Kyle opens the gate, and surprise, it's not the cops. For masked intruders storm in, guns blazing. Sarah tries to make a run for it, but gets stopped at gunpoint. Meanwhile, Avery is living it up at some wild house party, oblivious to the chaos unfolding back home. The Millers get forced to the ground, and the leader of the gang, Elias, clearly knows way too much about them. He demands the alarm code, which Sarah reluctantly gives up. Back at the party, Avery's having a totally different kind of adventure. A boy tries to impress her with his stash of cash, and you know what? She's not interested and calls a cab to leave. Meanwhile, Elias finds Kyle's wall safe and insists he open it. One of the goons, Ty, warns they've got only 10 minutes to get the job done. Kyle, ever the stubborn guy, refuses to comply, even as the threats get nastier. The goons claim they know he's got diamonds stashed away, but Kyle hits them with a mini TED talk about how diamonds are traceable thanks to laser codes. Seriously, it's like he's trying to bore them into leaving. Jonah, the youngest of the gang, suggests they just take the cash and scram. But then he locks eyes with Sarah, and she recognizes him. Turns out he's the security tech who recently worked at their house. Awkward much? Jonah seems a bit more human than the rest, and even steps in to stop Elias when things get heated. Elias, frustrated, storms off, leaving Jonah and Sarah to share some tense flashbacks about iced tea and small talk by the pool. Avery's cab drops her off near the estate, and she sneaks back inside, completely unaware she's walking into a horror show. Kyle's in pain on the floor, minus his glasses, while Ty threatens to slice off his thumb for the biometric safe. In the kitchen, Elias gets creepy with Sarah, dropping a bombshell that she apparently had a fling with his younger brother. Yikes. Sarah, however, keeps her cool and stealthily swipes the syringe Elias was waving around earlier. As the family drama hits its peak, Avery stumbles upon the scene and tries to escape but gets caught. Kyle pleads for her safety, and the Millers are corralled into his office. Elias pulls the classic sob story villain move, claiming he needs cash to save his mom or get her a new kidney. Sarah, having had enough of this madness, uses the syringe to hold Elias at bay. Ty fires his shotgun, but Sarah somehow convinces them to let Avery go. Finally, Sarah takes charge and orders Kyle to open the safe. But plot twist, the safe is empty. Nada. The thieves lose it and crush Kyle's hand, demanding to know where the money is. Kyle tearfully admits that he's broke. He's poured all their funds into the house, and they're drowning in debt. Turns out Mr. Fancy Porsche isn't as loaded as he seems. Outside, Avery makes another daring escape attempt, but nope, she's caught again. Desperation sets in as Elias rifles through Kyle's briefcase and finds diamond invoices. Kyle explains he doesn't actually handle diamonds. He's just the middleman. Ty gets a phone call, presumably from someone checking on their progress, and the pressure's on. They've only got an hour left. Elias starts dropping hints to Kyle that they're not exactly living the dream either. Petal, the gang's wild card, gets emotional, begging to just grab what they can and leave. Her mood shifts when she spots a portrait of Sarah wearing a stunning necklace, which the thieves now have their eyes on. So Sarah, trying to keep her cool, shows the intruders her sparkly necklace, hoping they'll take it and leave as promised. Spoiler, they're not the most trustworthy bunch. Meanwhile, Kyle and Avery, both tied up like Thanksgiving turkeys, are awkwardly trying to set their duct-taped wrists on fire with a Zippo lighter. Yeah, great idea, right? Nothing could possibly go wrong there. In another part of the house, Sarah's busy bargaining with Jonah, promising she'll do anything if he lets them go. Things are looking grim until Jonah steps up again, laying down the law that nobody's allowed to hurt Sarah or Avery. Flashback alert. We see Jonah getting out of the Miller's pool, kissing Sarah. Oh, drama. Kyle decides to stir the pot, casually dropping the bomb that Sarah's necklace isn't some priceless heirloom. Nope, it's a $99 cubic zirconia special. He admits he sold the real one for cash. Elias isn't buying it literally, and smashes the necklace with his gun, proving it's fake. Ouch! Adding salt to the wound, Elias reminds Kyle that Sarah had a thing with his brother, which is apparently why this whole mess started. Talk about oversharing. Meanwhile, upstairs, Avery throws hands with Petal, creating just enough chaos for Sarah to make a run for it. Kyle, always the resourceful guy, throws a chair through a window, triggering the security alarm. Ty, not thrilled about the noise, starts beating Kyle like a piñata. The security company calls, and Jonah, ever the smooth talker, pretends everything's fine. Back in the den, Kyle somehow manages to redirect the syringe Ty was waving around. Ty ends up injecting himself and promptly hits the floor. Kyle grabs a shotgun and stumbles away, probably feeling like a battered action hero. Outside, Elias tracks down Sarah in the woods and drags her back. Jonah, now scrambling to keep things under control, needs a security code. He hunts for Avery, who's hiding in a room under renovation. She's forced to give the password to the suspicious security rep on the phone. That's when Elias, clearly done playing games, shoots Kyle in the leg. He then spills his sob story about how $180,000 worth of drugs got stolen, and now the dealers want their money back. Oh, and Ty was apparently sent to make sure things got handled. Petal, ever the wild card, stumbles across a screenshot of Sarah and Jonah kissing, conveniently stashed in Kyle's briefcase. Elias is livid and starts beating both Kyle and Sarah, but Jonah steps in to break it up. The brothers start fighting, and just as things can't get worse, a security guard shows up at the gate. This guy just wants a signature for the alarm incident, but Elias decides bullets are better than paperwork and shoots him in the head. Avery, desperate to save her family, blurts out that she knows where to find $200,000. She convinces Elias to let her and Petal head back to the house party to retrieve it. Jonah's skeptical, but Elias is all in. So, off they go in Kyle's Porsche, with Avery at the wheel. As they're speeding down the road, Avery decides to channel her inner stunt driver. She deliberately crashes the car into a pole, unbuckling Petal's seatbelt at the last second. Petal? Knocked out cold. Avery? A bit bloody but still kicking. Back at the house, Tyson is down for the count, as everyone thought. He wakes up and blocks Jonah and Sarah from leaving. Ty starts beating Jonah, but Elias steps in, shooting Ty before things get even uglier. With his dying breath, Ty drops a truth bomb. Jonah was the one who stole the drugs and secretly returned them for $10,000. Kyle and Sarah try to escape to the renovation room, but Elias catches up. He starts choking Sarah in a fit of rage, but Jonah steps in to save her. In the scuffle, a plastic sheet rips, revealing a massive stash of cash hidden in the wall. Just as things are getting tenser than a soap opera finale, Avery bursts in with a gun. In the ultimate standoff, Jonah makes the hard call and shoots Elias, killing his own brother. Talk about a family feud. With Elias down, Sarah rushes to comfort the badly injured Kyle. He's barely hanging on, but manages to explain that he was hiding the money to protect his family. Jonah, now seeing dollar signs, starts gathering the cash. But Kyle, in a last-ditch move, ignites a pool of solvent nearby. Flames spread fast, and Jonah's shoes get nailed to the floor by Kyle in a moment of sheer badassery. As the fire closes in, Jonah pleads with Sarah for help, but it's all a ruse. He grabs her, claiming they should die together. Kyle, summoning his last bit of strength, fires a shot that sends Jonah falling into the flames. And just like that, Jonah's out of the picture. On the lawn, they collapse into each other's arms. They've lost their home, but they've survived, and in the end, that's what counts. And that's a wrap, folks. If you enjoyed this wild ride of a recap, smash the like button.